We enter a new world in the gaming industry. AI is everywhere. Your social medias have it, your phones have it, and now it's in the gaming industry. I really want to look at two games, mainly one game, Call of Duty and Fortnite. Fortnite, as far as I know, doesn't really use AI generated content for like cosmetics, things like that. At least not Epic Games themselves. Let's really not mention the UEFN maps. Call of Duty, on the other hand, has been shown to be using AI generated content. Call of Duty was under heavy fire this past December because of this loading screen. This was our first legitimate proof of Call of Duty actually using AI generated content. Still don't see it? Look at this zombie's right hand. Count how many fingers are on there. There's 6. I'm not really an expert in hands, but hands have 5 fingers. Now this isn't really the first time they've been accused of AI. They were accused of using AI in, I believe, a Modern Warfare 3 bundle. It was reported to have used AI in one of the things in the bundle, but nobody said what was the AI generated thing in the bundle. So I'm not going to count that for now. So that was December. It's gotten a lot worse since. Call of Duty is using AI in a lot of loading screens. Well, there's nothing inherently wrong with using AI at all if you admit that the thing is AI generated and not trying to pawn it off that you commissioned an artist to make that artwork or thing. Now, there's rumors of them using AI on operator skins and blueprints, but there's really no validity and no concrete evidence to really support that. But it's worth the mention. And honestly, right now, it's fear-mongering for right now, but at most, they're really only creating concepts of those skins with AI, like generating concept of the skins and then having a human obviously design the 3D model of it and such. I don't think AI is actually creating the 3D models right now, but let's ask that question again in about 5 years time. Now I have my own personal reasons that I don't like AI. So do you. You may love AI. I absolutely hate 100% generated things by AI. Congratulations, you went to a text box for 5 seconds, typed in a thing, and now you're trying to pawn off that an artist made this. I'm sorry, you're not really fooling anybody. I'm okay with a few AI things, really, such as improving upon already existing systems. Like for example, I use Photoshop and their content-aware like tools. It's to extend backgrounds, or I don't like the framing of a certain background, so I extend the background a little bit with AI. That was an already existing tool with Photoshop. It just wasn't as powerful as it is now. Now, I have a few ways to tell that things are AI generated. For example, the easiest one for a lot of people is hands. Hands, they got 5 fingers, and AI has a lot of trouble with those specifics of hands and how certain hands look, like knuckles, obviously fingers. AI has a lot of trouble mimicking that for some reason. Kind of a dead giveaway with AI is, especially if it's trying to mimic something like a real life picture or photo or human or something, is a lot of your real life photos have a lot of grain or a lot of noise with it. AI generated content, if it's not a really good AI bot, those things are as smooth and as perfect as that thing can get. Those things are smooth. There's little to no imperfections with how the photo looks. As with photos that you take on your phone, there you can tell there's imperfections with the photo. You can see the framing's off, or there's grain, or there's noise, and things aren't, sharp. They aren't smooth. AI doesn't really mimic that all that well. Now, AI has really always been here. But nowhere near the levels we've seen today. For example, AI bots in Call of Duty and Fortnite. Fortnite's having a lot of issues with their lobbies being filled with 80% bots. At least the community's really honing down on them for that, because it makes the battle royale games a little bit boring sometimes, like squad games. I got a squad of variations of skills, and I got a low tier player. For those first 10 matches, we are playing bots most of the time, and the bots aren't like, it's just stat padding. Hell, the community has a saying that we go with. We say that they're real. Now, Call of Duty has had these bots for forever, especially with private matches, and they have variations of skill. You can have like the basic, like your Fortnite level bots where there's little to no skill, or you can have your veteran bots that have, they have a little bit of skill on them. They can at least know some of the mechanics in the game and can actually hit, more than 2 bullets on you. The reason you see these bots everywhere, like Fortnite and another example, Marvel Rivals, is to help with queue times and help with server stability, because, some of the games when you play at certain play times aren't as populated. So then, Fortnite and these games use AI bots, like robots, to fill your lobbies, and it helps with server stability because 100 inputs in a battle royale, it's a lot of fucking inputs on a server. There's nothing wrong with these AI robots in game, just kind of makes the game a lot more boring and stale, and it obviously helps lower skilled players get more accustomed to the game. Like coming in April 3rd, Verdansk is coming back with a more casual BR mode where it is only 20 to 25 real players, and then the rest of them, the 130, 125, are just bots. It's just bots. I'm assuming they're gonna just do a mix of their private match bots. It's a way more laid back casual game. I personally would be playing this with my squad that doesn't play a lot of Warzone, or I'm just trying not to sweat my dick off and I just want to casually play Warzone, because now that Verdansk is back and all the quality of life changes that they're making, I might actually play a little bit of Warzone. When it starts to become a problem is when the game doesn't tell you that the thing that you're looking at is AI generated. Call of Duty now has to admit that they've been using AI in their game, like on Steam. Steam, one of their policies is basically if you use any AI generated content or any AI to help you with the development of your game, you need to admit that on Steam that you are using AI in that game. I don't really like where AI is heading, especially in the content space, but obviously as well as the gaming space. I think AI would be cool for like having more fleshed out NPCs and such, kind of like the monolith system. If you're familiar with that, the monolith system is like a system where you would beat a bad guy, you would beat, an enemy, you wouldn't kill them, they would come back and they would have learned some of your moves and some of your move sets and your play style and would have counters for that. That was kind of the monolith system. If they had something like that for like NPCs, like a more fleshed out system, I think that would be cool. In the content space, it is really, really bad. Especially for short form stuff. People are flat out just using AI voices, images, videos, and to make the most lazy content I've literally ever seen, and making a fuck ton of money from it, taking away eyes from actually amazing content. Like so many creators that I see and watch put so much hours, so much time, and sometimes money into things that they make, and it gets half the views as your Reddit AI voice reading those comments on Minecraft Parkour. Those will have 10 to 100x the engagement that a well-crafted, really good made video will have. It's pissed me off a couple times with some of my videos. I think a video I edited really well and it just underperforms. And then I see a video that somebody made in quite literally less than 5 minutes and it has 1,000x or 10,000x the stuff I get. And that just pisses me the fuck off. It's the most brain dead content I've ever seen, and I'm frankly sick of it. Like, I hit not interested in all that stuff. It's boring. I think gaming shouldn't really have AI generated content, or at least shouldn't hide the fact that there's AI generated content in the game. Call of Duty shouldn't have loading screens that are trying to be pawned off that an artist actually created those. Cosmetics should absolutely not be AI generated at all. It's just because people will buy those, don't know it's AI generated. Companies will look at people are buying this stuff that's AI generated and they'll go, okay, let's ramp it up a notch. Let's ramp up more AI in these cosmetics. Makes our life easier because we don't have to pay people to make these bundles, make these skins, make all this stuff. We'll stop in an AI tool and cut our costs into half. Monetization for AI generated stuff should just not happen. I'm okay if I buy a bundle and it has a loading screen that's AI generated, but if my entire fucking bundle is AI generated, I'm not buying that shit. You can fuck right off. Because it just supports the idea that, people who play games don't care what they're playing. They just want to play a game. But people really, really, really care that it's a human generated experience, because I'm sorry, an AI is not recreating some of the wonderful gaming masterpieces we've seen. So I really suggest people to stop buying bundles and stuff. Companies, get the idea that we don't want this AI shit in the game. I'm really looking at you, Call of Duty. And I want to wrap up the video by quickly mentioning Activision's little stunt they pulled off about a week or two ago. People were seeing ads all over their social medias for a Guitar Hero mobile game. And then they would click on this ad and it would just be, this ad was just a survey to see if people actually want this. Activision also did this with Call of Duty, releasing a few AI generated things of like a Call of Duty sniper mobile game or a Call of Duty zombie survival game. Completely AI generated bullshit. These games aren't real. It's to literally, the main idea of these ads was to cut costs, because you're not paying anybody to create concepts of a mobile game, advertise it, and it just cuts your costs. Because basically what these companies do is they create or they generate concepts of games, and whichever one has the highest engagement, they make that into a game. So then they save a shit ton of money to make it. Companies are getting cheaper and cheaper, and even though the money for them is just going up and up. Like, hey, I don't know, Call of Duty, let's keep paying people to make your fucking monetization items. I don't want AI generated bullshit. And AI is a problem, and I'm not really the best at really telling you why in extremely great detail. Cover a generalization of it and why it connects to the games I play. I'll link a video in the description giving a way better explanation of this in AI and how it's bad for the tech industry and gaming industry. I'll link probably 2 videos there. And that's really all I got for you. I hope you enjoy what I make of this video. I kind of just saw a bunch of AI stuff on my Twitter timeline, and I was like, okay, I need to make an AI video because this is ridiculous. That was kind of the spark of this idea for the video. I would like to thank you so much for 400 subscribers. We quickly breezed past it, and we're up to 413, I believe, as of the time I'm recording this. So I'd like to thank you guys so much for 400. If I reach 500 by the end of April, I'll do something crazy. I don't know what. I'll think about it, but I'll think of something. So I hope you enjoy whatever I make of this video. I hope you have a great rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever you have. I hope you remember that you matter, and I will catch you in the next one.